Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about the SanDisk SSD that I use for recording with my Blackmagic Pocket 6K. I started using this to record video with the 6K ever since I've owned the camera, from day one. So, as you know, the camera has an SD card slot. It has a CFast card slot. SD for shooting 5:1, 8:1 compression didn't really work for me. It would drop frames. So I just opted to go with this. As far as a CFast card, I don't own one, and I don't anticipate owning one in the near future. They're just not budget friendly. This thing in September of 2019, when I purchased it, which is exactly a year ago, it was $169, and right now we're in September of 2020, and I seen them listed for $139. And there is a more expensive version, but I opted for the $169. This is a 1 terabyte. As you can see, it's relatively rugged, I would say. I have dropped it on the floor when I was in Thailand. I dropped it on a cement floor in the house. It didn't seem to hurt it at all. It works. The little pigtail cable that came with it seems to work the best. That's the only complaint I had about recording with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K, and it had nothing to do really with this. It had to do with aftermarket cables, because I wanted to mount this in a spot on the camera that was further away than what the little cable that came with it would allow. So I bought another cable, and they seem to only last, like the little short cables only seem to last about a month. Some of them I only got 2 weeks out of. I bought 3 different ones, 3 different times. The first one let me down. It worked for a couple of weeks, and then when I got to Thailand, just one day I was out on the motorbike up in the mountain in the rainforest, and all of a sudden it won't record. Luckily, I had the little pigtail with me that comes with it, and that worked fine. Now, I have gotten good quality longer cables, but they're like too long for my rig. I have to like wrap them and zip tie them, or somehow use a bungee to hold them in place. So I like to go with that little short one, and that's why you see how I have it mounted here on my camera rig. It keeps it nice and close, and having a shorter cable I think is better, where if you need a longer cable, you need it, but having a cable that's too long and you got to bungee it and keep it in place, it can get snagged anyway. So I love this SSD, no problems with it. I'm a SanDisk guy. Everything I own as far as memory cards, as you can see here, all SanDisk. I've been using SanDisk for years, never had a problem. I shouldn't say never had a problem. One SanDisk card, a micro SD that I was using in a phone, went bad, and it just became corrupted one day. I don't know what happened. It just became corrupted, and I couldn't uncorrupt it. So, but that was a phone card. It was a little bit different than these types of cards. It was a card that was designed specifically for a phone. So, link for it down below. I'll even put a link for this case. This is a great memory card case. I think I've done, or not a review, but I've talked about it before. These things are awesome. They're waterproof, as you can see. When you close this up, this is all rubber or silicone. This seals up. I have tested it, dropped it in water. I have one of these that got dropped out of a car, and we went back and picked it up, and it was fine. So I have a couple of these actually. So link for that down below too. But as far as the SanDisk SSD, absolutely love it. No problems with it. I don't know. I've never shot in 3:1 compression ratio, but for me, shooting in 5:1, 8:1, and 12:1 with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K, never had a problem.